Hey guys, this is your inspirational nurse _RN Tiara coming to you live with another great video. Hello all my YouTube family. It's been a minute. I am your girl Tiara. I am your inspirational RN, BSN / LPN / medical assistant. I did it all, guys, and today's video is going to be super special. It's going to be your 8 essential travel nursing survival kit. So 8 essential travel nursing survival kit. So I'm going to give you 8 things that you must have as a travel nurse. Now, a lot of our new family members are new travel nursing, so welcome. I am currently your travel guru, y'all. I have done it all. I have worked from the bottom up. Currently, I am a director of nursing, and it's not a travel job. Sometimes I step down from traveling, especially now, guys, since things are kind of slowing down. You guys know that travel nursing is seasonal. So kind of like some seasons are really hot and some seasons are really dry, where you're really competing with other travelers to get these contracts. And so I am going to give you 8 essential things you need in your survival kit as a travel nurse. So let's jump into the video. Let's get started. Number 1 item, guys, is a watch. Now, I know this sounds simple, but maybe you're working in a hospital that goes by military time. Some hospitals don't. But a watch that will tell you exactly what today is. It has the timer on there. It has all the features. So if you do not have an Apple Watch, or you have a Samsung watch, like my husband has a really cool Samsung watch, having a watch is going to be essential because your watch does several things for you. Number 1, it can wake you up. Number 2, you can set alerts. So if you're given a time management drug, like there's some drugs that you're giving that you have to come back within 15 minutes and assess your patient, or 10 minutes, and you are working in a new environment as a travel nurse and with new patients, so you do not have a routine. So you are going to need something to help you with time management. Time management is essential. But as a travel nurse, you may have the most complex, and most of the time you have the most complex cases in the whole entire unit because they're travelers. We are not treated equally. I had my last travel assignment in the hospital, the most LTAC patients. And like I told you guys in my horror story video, some of the nurses were so sweet and took some of my assignments from me because they knew that was just unrealistic. But your girl came prepared. So having a watch. Now, most of the time you're going to be working various hours. You might be working a couple of nights. You might be working a couple of days. You might be picking up extra shifts because you're trying to get your bag and you're disoriented. Now, you guys know nursing disoriented need to be in that nurse diagnosis list. Y'all know they update that list. So that need to be on there, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about when they teach y'all in nursing school about these diagnoses. Now, they need to diagnose nurse disorientation because it is a thing. When you are a travel nurse, you are in a new environment. You might be in a different state that has in a different time zone than your home state, guys. Or you are an international traveler. And so I helped someone become an international traveler. When we were both working in a hospital we didn't like. This was a regular job, and this person was miserable. And now they travel internationally, sold everything, and hit the road, guys. People are selling and hitting the road, getting RVs and traveling any way they can as a nurse. A watch is going to be essential. Ensure your watch is charged, guys, because y'all know I'm good for it. I will wake up and my stuff ain't even charged. But guess what? My husband got my back. He always charges my stuff because I just don't care. Or just like when I get home, I just throw everything and then next thing you know, I'm passed out sleep. So your watch is going to help you. Most watches have so many functions and features and things you can download to help you stay on track. Even if it just tells you the weather, or it tells you, or you can see, like say for instance, you guys are door dashing your food to the unit and you'll get that notification through your Apple Watch or whatever watch you have, and it will tell you your food is almost here, or the person can call you through your watch. I loved it because when I was a new nurse, guys, as an RN in a hospital with all these people, okay, I was always DoorDashing something, and I'm the DoorDash queen, guys, and I would love the notifications come to my watch, and I know to start heading down to go get my food. So the watch will help you survive. It will definitely tell you what today is, what's the weather, what month it is, things that nurses should know, right? But we are so overworked. We overwork our mental state that we do not even know what is going on. Oh, today is a holiday. We don't even be knowing, you know, so forgive us. We're fatigued. That's what it is. So your watch is going to be your number one thing in your survival kit. Number two, in your survival kit, you need to have a good scissor. Now, some people like to steal scissors. I'm going to just put it out there. It's hard to go on a unit, and some nurses do not want to share their scissors with you because you're going to come on some wound care you may have to do. There might be some things you can't get open. Y'all know some of them packages of medications and things that be having to be locked in there. You be trying to like tear down and can't get it open. Get you a good scissor, guys. Some type of shears or something. You can even go to a military store that sells military uniforms. They have really good, like, cheap shears up in there. Oh, yeah. Your G.I. Joe and G.I. whoever, they be having some good shears. So you want to get you some good scissors. This is not just for patient care. It can just be used just so you need it. Lots of times I found that was the number one thing I needed. And guess what? Somebody picked mine up, or somebody, you know, scissors is hard to come by. Good shears is hard to come by, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Have good shears. Now, as a travel nurse, you don't need a lot of stuff in your bag, but the things that I'm telling you today, you want to have it. It's going to save you, especially if you're new coming into the game and you really don't know how the game works. Have your shears, have your scissors. Order a couple of them. So sometimes you run out the house trying to make it to work and you're like, gosh, my scissors. You can keep one in the car. You can keep one in your bag that you take to work every day. Now, for those nurses that has been a nurse for a long time, y'all know after a while your bags start to get light. All my experienced nurses know. Now, when I started out, y'all, I had every type of bag full with every type of tool. Y'all knew I was a new nurse then. Now, I barely have stuff to bring to work. Just my essentials. Number 3, in your survival kit, guys, you want to have a lock and the key to your lock. So you're going to be working in various hospitals. As a travel nurse, they know you make good money. And so people will go through your locker. People will go through your bags that you leave out. Sometimes you might come to the hospital, you didn't even know they had lockers because they didn't tell you. Okay. I'm telling you to have a lock, a good solid lock and key. That's essential in my bag right now. If I was to show y'all my nursing bag, everything that I'm telling you is in my nursing bag. And I don't carry a lot of things, but definitely a lock and a key, because you want to lock and key every morning when you're putting your stuff in your locker, guys. In your locker. And sometimes you don't even know which locker is who or belongs to what. Or you might put in somebody's locker and they have an attitude. Well, if they wasn't there on time, you got the locker first. Lock up your stuff, because people are rude. People will touch your stuff, move your stuff out of a locker, especially if it's not locked and you just have stuff in there. You need to bring a locker. Now, you can find a lock in the military store or somewhere that sell the real good locks, not the little cheap locks where you have to have a combination. Now you got something else you got to remember, right? So you need to have a lock. It will save your life. Every place that I go, even if it's a full-time job, I bring a lock because I want to lock my stuff. Okay? Now, I got an office, so nice size, so I still bring my lock. So moving on. So essential number 4, you want to have a mini hygiene kit, guys. It could be a little bag. It could be something where you keep toothbrush, deodorant, lotion, lip balm. You want to have a small hygiene kit. And, you know, if your stuff might come down, Mother Nature, you never know. You want to make sure you have stuff to back you up. Sometimes as a travel nurse, you're so tired that you just run out the house, take a shower, mix max socks on. Hello, I've done it. Mix max shoes on. Hello, I've done it. Forgot to put deodorant on. I've done it. Forgot to put lotion on and you just ashy. And then your mouth was dry because the hospital air is disgusting. And you're like, oh, I don't have no lip balm. Keep a hygiene kit somewhere. So if you do forget something, and bring some spray. So if you the type that use the bathroom at work, bring some spray. I don't use the bathroom at work. I don't. But bring a small hygiene kit. This would definitely save you from having to turn around, go back home because you forgot some deodorant. Bring a small mouthwash. So if you're eating, because you don't have a lot of time. You know, 30 minutes is not a lot of time to eat some food. And now you're busting food down. Food is everywhere, all in your teeth. So you can brush your teeth. You can get yourself together with your hygiene kit and hide it. Nobody need to know your business. You know, nobody need to know what you got in your hygiene bag. Everybody's hygiene bag is going to be different because everybody's hygiene is different. So you can go to Walmart and get you the little mini deodorants is $1. You could get the mini toothbrushes and the mini kit, like if you're going on a vacation. And that way, that will save you from running back home. I've done it before when I was new and I didn't know better. Now as an experienced nurse, if I forget something, I have it in my car. I even keep stuff like that in my car so I can just spit, keep it moving, and I still can make it to work. On time, guys. On time. So, let's move on to essential number 5. You want to have on some good TED holes, guys. You're going to be on your feet like thousands of hours. And you want your blood to circulate properly. So you want to get you some really, really good TED holes. Now, it's not just to keep your blood circulating. Y'all already know I got some tips. But also, when you are a travel nurse and you have your car keys, your wallet with your debit cards and stuff, this is where I keep all my stuff that I have in my pocket that is personal in my sock. Yes, I do, guys. And especially when you're in a new environment, you're getting a new assignment, new patients. Now your routine, if you're a routine type of person, is all messed up. So guess what? Now you like stuff falling out your pocket. You can lose debit cards like this, driver's license, because you're running all day. Now you're trying to backtrack. Oh my God, my stuff fell out my pocket. Because some scrub pockets is not decent. I'm just going to say that. Some scrub pockets is not set up for success. You want to make sure that you put your stuff in your sock. You can feel the stuff against your leg all day. And that's literally what I do. And it keeps my hands from being in my pocket too. Because now I have a bunch of stuff from the hospital mixed with my personal items. I don't think so. So I always do that. And let me tell you, you don't even have to have a big wallet. You just can put your debit card and your driver's license on your sock. Or if you're a cash person, and your sock. And then I guarantee that stuff ain't gonna go nowhere. Now, if you try to put in your bra, I don't know. It might work for some people. For me, socks is where it's at. If you have a good TED holes that is not super big, but it's like fitted on you, you are going to be just fine, because that's going to be your pocket, right? Your pocket. So let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. Number 6, you want to have some type of scrub jacket or some type of hoodie or something. Most hospitals, especially if you're a night shift, new travel nurse coming in, you don't know the hospital temperatures in the building, how it is. is usually very cold. They usually have the air on very high so the patients are not hot. So you're going to be cold. If you get cold like me, you always want to have your own scrub jacket or something from home that if you do get cold, that you can keep warm and keep working, because that's the point. You guys still keep working. It's a no-no to use the hospital's blankets and sheets to cover you up at night. So I see people at nursing stations with a whole coat on, sheets on, blankets wrapped around their head because they're freezing. I used to have, back in the day, y'all, this is a long time ago, somebody used to bring me a heater to work because I was always a good friend, was looking out for me, because we were in the basement of a building and it was freezing. And she was like, I got you. I'm going to bring my heater. And I don't know, because I'm anemic or something, but I get very cold. So I always have a jacket or something to keep me warm. Yes, I said it, to keep me warm, guys. Now, essential number 8. You want to get you some type of medication to cut up your medications. Now, some hospitals have them. Some places you're digging to cut these pills up. You're like, where is the thing to chop up these, crush these pills? You can buy the little small ones where it just cuts up your pill so you can make sure your dose is correct. All right. Because some people be trying to use scissors and other items to cut up these pills, and that is unacceptable. You could get you a medication cutter with, they're really small, could go on Amazon, whatever, and get them, and they can cut your medication the proper cut, right? A clean cut, not a rigid, crazy cut because you don't have nothing to crush to cut up your medication. Remember, as a traveler, guys, you are in a new environment, and most of the time, these people don't tell you nothing. Like, they don't tell you anything. Now, let's move on to essential number 8. You want to join all your Uber Eats, your DoorDashes, as much food, delivery, things like that, because that way you can get big discounts, guys. Especially, not Uber Eats, but the other one that I just said. Those sometimes will allow you to, when you're first new to signing up for DoorDash, you won't have a delivery fee for a good while. And then what you can do is, whoever else is new, you can say, refer a friend and say, hey, join DoorDash. And then they sign up, but they won't have a delivery fee. Then you can deliver under them. You know, just something to get you through if you don't really have it like that, to keep paying, because some of these prices could be very, very high to pay for delivery and then a good tip and then your food. But when you are so busy as a travel nurse, sometimes you do not get a chance to leave to go eat. So, guys, you will be needing these apps. These apps will definitely save your life, because what you can do is you can actually set the time to when you want to eat. So I know for me, I didn't get to eat around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's just the time. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I don't eat later than that. I'll eat later than that. Yeah. So you want to make sure, if you are a new member or you refer friends to these apps, you use your coupon, guys. They really give good deals, especially DoorDash. They give 70% off sometimes, 50% off. You can get the lunch special to keep your pricing down instead of getting like a big buffet. Because some people order so much food, but they don't have no chance to eat it. Right? Or I notice sometimes when I'm trying to put lunch in the refrigerator's packed with other bags, and they ain't looking out for you, right? Now, I'm telling you to join Uber Eats, join DoorDashes, and that way they'll give you different deals per day depending on the restaurant. Sometimes, like, I found one of my favorite restaurants on there is Poke and Surf or something like that. But anyway, it's Japanese food and where you just make your dishes. You could just put whatever you want in a bowl and it's fresh. I used to buy my nursing assistants in the hospital, when they were really nice, I'll buy them lunch. Now, as a travel nurse, you don't have to, but I've done it several times. I've done it. My last travel assignment, I bought everybody donuts and coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and I used my coupon. When I worked at the other hospital, this was something, it was a little pricey, but it was worth it because my nursing assistant really looked out for me, like really had my back. We worked really well as a team. And so I showed my appreciation by buying lunch. And this place, like I said, you can get fresh tuna, fresh shrimp. You can do a Hawaiian bowl. You can do different style bowls, and they're so fresh and so good. You can put different like snow peas in there, rice, soy sauce, whatever you eat with your food. And it's really good. So I found them, and I used to DoorDash them all the time, guys. Sometimes I don't even get breakfast, so we will DoorDash Wawa's and have coffee delivered to the hospital. Sometimes the doctor, one time, guys, the doctor gave me his credit card, and yes, your girl, he was like, don't spend everything, but he wanted me to buy whatever I wanted because I helped him with his surgery. He will come by the bedside, and he was like a foot doctor and things like that. So I'll help him get supplies, get set up. Every time I know he was coming, he didn't know how to get in the room, supply rooms, find anything. So, you know, I will help him make his life easier and help him with his bedside care. And as a treat, he gave me his credit card, and I was ordering everybody something, you know, on the unit because everybody was working hard, you know. So I wanted to make sure everybody had some coffee or at least order lunch, in which we had lunch on the doctor. So sometimes it's nice when a surgeon or a doctor does step up and say, hey, you know, lunch on me, because it is hard on everybody, you know, and eating is essential. You got to eat. And as a travel nurse, sometimes you will forget, you will get a headache. So another essential to have will be a bottle of Advil or a bottle of Tylenol. This is going to save your life. I'm telling you, as a travel nurse, you have so many frustrations and challenges that you get a headache. You get a headache from dealing with the new patients you don't know, dealing with family members on top of that, dealing with the doctors, the orders, the team, and all the challenges as a travel nurse. So you will build a lot of anxiety and stress. Sometimes your head will pop off. So always have a big bottle, not the little packs, because you're going to go through that fast. A big bottle of Advil or Tylenol, something like that. If you're an allergy person, well, all the time when you're in the hospital or working with patients, your allergies act up, have something, because y'all know it's COVID still, and people be doing and everybody looking at you. You know, get your allergies in order and check. So have your essentials for your allergies. If you already know that. Me, I used to get a lot of headaches because I eat late. So I'll always have Advil. I'm an Advil girl on deck. Or I didn't know that my Mother Nature was coming down. I got a headache or something crazy. So I will always have these things in my car or in my bag. Because then you're looking for these things on the unit. You're asking other nurses and they like, girl, I don't got nothing. Now, on every unit, there's always somebody that has a random bottles of pills in their bag. You like, what are you doing with all them bottles? But they be saving people's lives, the nurses' lives for the day, because they have every type of vitamin, every type of Advil. They be have antibiotics, all type of stuff, and they be like giving it out. And that's in the nursing culture. There's always a nurse that has something that has a whole bunch of stuff that might just save your head, might save you from a headache, or, you know, help you out for the day. So just become part of the team. Get to know people, you know, get to know who's good at certain things on your unit when you're a travel nurse, or who's the go-to for certain things when you forget your stuff. So those are some of my essentials. Now, another essential to have is a great medication book, guys. I'm going to say it again. A great medication book. I have a mini medication size book that I take with me. Every travel assignment is updated version. You will come across situations where you're like, I know this medication, but does it Is it going to interact with the fact that this patient is on this medication? Or what should I avoid again with this medication? Or what is the things as a nursing that I'm supposed to be doing with this medication? Because how many medications you're going to come across? Tons of them. And you're not going to remember every detail about it. What to me makes a good drug book is when it relates to nursing and it tells you your nursing care with the medication. Things you should be checking. If you're checking the blood pressure, if you're checking the heart rate, if you looking out because their head may turn blue or something, you know, something crazy. You want to have your drug book on deck. I remember I was given a psych drug, and for some reason, I remember that it does something funny to the heart. It caused it to like speed up. So just to verify what I remembered, I looked it up, and it was one of the old school psych drugs. And guess what, guys? It made the heart work harder. And so the heart rate for my patient was going up. So I'm looking at the monitor and the telemetry rhythms and things like that. And I'm like printing it out, and I'm watching my patient closely, because if my patient has history of having heart problems, this might be a problem. So we might need to look for other options for the patient. So yeah, y'all. So I know a lot of things in here. This forehead is not just big for a reason. It's full of knowledge. And lots of times you will remember things. You will be like, how in the world did I still remember that? I remember a lot of nursing things. But what makes a good drug book is when it's related to nursing. It tells you exactly what to do with that medication. There might be some things you come across. Y'all seen things happening with nurses going to jail now for making medication errors. So it's nothing wrong with busting out your drug book out your pocket and saying, hey, give me a second to look this medication up. So then when you're talking to your doctor, you can relate the message. I took care of a pregnant patient that was positive for COVID, and some other stuff was going on. And I told the doctor, I said, don't order this, because we usually have an order set for COVID patients. And I'm like, don't order that because it's going to cross the placenta. But I ain't look at the drug book then. God just dropped that knowledge on me, and she was Googling it like, how you know this? Like, she was shocked like that I knew, but I just knew. I don't just know how I know it, but it just come to my head. And when I'm taking care of certain types of patients, it just come to memory. Now, especially if you're working in peds and OBGYN, and you working with surgical patients and certain things, know their medications, because most of the time when patients get ready to go to surgery, they stop all those medications. So a lot of times you're going to see a lot of adverse effects and a lot of stuff going on with surgical patients as well, because they're not on their routine meds. They've been taken off for a couple of days. Then they have to still come from out of surgery into the area where they're observing the patient and making sure the patient is alert and oriented and vitals are appropriate before you get that patient back. So you can always check to see what was given in surgery. Even if you're not a big OR person, I'm not a big, I haven't worked in the OR, I've worked with surgical patients. But I always try to watch and see how much of medication they gave my patient. Maybe my patient needed more sedative dose because of something else, and they had to do a second surgery because they found something. Usually they always find something. But you want to know these things, so when your patient is coming back to you, you know of how much they gave, when you're supposed to resume your normal routine meds, because when they're coming back, each hospital have protocols to how to take care of them and when you can resume their routine meds. So some routine meds you cannot resume within those 24 hours. You have to wait the next day to resume that medication, because they was they was down there, they was laying on the OR table, they was, they wasn't conscious. The surgery went well, but maybe they gave them a certain amount of fentanyl, a certain amount of, so you want to make sure that you know the protocols to when they can resume their routine meds and what meds are supposed to be held, which meds are supposed to be resumed, and follow that. So having a good drug book, guys, especially as a travel nurse, is going to be essential. As nurses, we do not know everything, but we know how to find those resources about things that we need to know. Especially guys during COVID, we were giving drugs that wasn't even FDA approved. and my physician ordered me to give this medication to a patient, and I'm looking up the drug, because again, you are the one administering these medications, so you need to be knowing what you're giving. Not because it's an order, because you can always question a doctor's orders. Doctors working 48 hours, some work 72 hours in the hospital. They are tired, guys. These doctors are tired, and they're looking for us to do our job and catch the mistakes. So just because you are given the order doesn't mean you have to do the order if it doesn't make sense. Because anything that don't make sense, y'all, I don't do. Okay? I don't do. That's probably why I'm in my new role now, because I'm very strict on certain things and I question things, which is good. Some people tell you to have a question attitude, especially as a travel nurse. They be like, girl, you can ask us questions, and meanwhile, you're running with your head chopped off. You're like, where's this with? And everybody looking at you like you're strange. Like, find it yourself, you know, kind of attitude. So another thing is you don't want to have too much stuff. Okay, so you don't want to have your fancy stethoscope and your fancy fanny packs and all this stuff, because the places you're going to be working in is a little ghetto. Just going to say it. Sometimes they don't respect your stuff, and people are touching and taking your stuff. So you don't always want to have your best $300 stethoscope or your expensive items to these travel jobs. You just need the basics. Sometimes the one barrel stethoscopes that's like $50. I think there's one I just bought that was like $100 and something, and it does a great job. And if anything happened to it, I'm not going to panic, because it's not, like the top brand stethoscope, but it gets the job done. So you don't want to bring, as a travel nurse, just because you can afford to have all these items, you don't want to overcrowd your bag, things in your pocket and stuff like that, because you're in a totally new environment. And sometimes the treatment is horrible. Okay, people would borrow your stuff and not give it back. So you don't want to be spending your money on all these things, and then you're wasting money because of people. So I'm hoping this was super, super helpful. My last tip, and I know I'm over 8, but it's to bring or eat a snack, some type of fiber or protein snack before your shift. Reason why I say that, because sometimes as a travel nurse, you might come into your assignment and they may say, hey, Tierra, you're going to be working on this unit, or this, we're floating you here, or we're doing that. There's travel nursing, you really don't have a routine. You just coming in to support the shift and the schedule and fill the schedule for the day. I always eat a peanut butter and jelly and M&Ms prior to coming into shift. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich gets you from 6 a.m. in the morning to maybe 1 or 2 o'clock at afternoon before you are hungry. A good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Some people eat oatmeal. Sometimes I'll eat oatmeal or like cream of wheat, the instant pack, some type of fiber before I come to shift. It will save your life, because sometimes you're going to be wasting time trying to find some breakfast, order food, and then turn around, lunch is coming, because your shift time is moving super fast. So if you eat a fibered type of snack prior to, then you should be fine. Now, M&Ms, I'm known as M&Ms queen, guys. I keep big bags of M&Ms on me, because throughout my shift, when it hits like after lunch, so I ate lunch, but now it's a couple of hours after lunch, and I'm starting to get hungry, I will eat all my M&Ms, because for me, M&Ms give you a little bit of that chocolate, but it has that peanut protein that will keep you going, and it will keep you full until it's time for you to almost go, or dinner time. So M&Ms is a good snack, because you can have the smaller packages in your pocket. You can be eating them, and it's not so obvious, and I'll eat them. It got me all through studying. When I was studying through nursing school, that was like my go-to protein snack was M&Ms. Now, everybody is different, but you got to eat. It will help save time for those who like to go to Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks early in the morning, trying to catch that line and then trying to clock in on time. Because they have their eyes on the traveler, not the regular staff. Now, the regular staff be showing up late. But that travel nurse, they watching you. They got their eyes on you guys and they're watching, which is sad. But everything you do is being watched. So, these 3 months on this assignment, just do what you're supposed to be doing. If you're supposed to show up on time, show up on time. Support the team because they really do need help. These people are struggling. They need nurses. They need your help. So you're supposed to support the team, not come in whenever you feel like it, when you feel like it. Save your vacation days for when you're not in contract, so that way you don't have to worry about anything interfering with your vacation plans as a travel nurse. That will save your life, because who wants to cancel airline tickets? Maybe you had a cruise scheduled, or you're supposed to be somewhere for somebody's birthday, and now you find out you have to work because they put you down on a schedule. So plan your vacation days outside of those 3-month contracts before you start your contract or after. It will definitely save you a headache. So I hope this video was super, super helpful. These are my tips because, guys, you have to have a survival kit to kind of get you just through those harsh 3 months of being on a travel assignment. This is your girl Tiara, and I'm your inspirational nurse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And welcome to the family for those who are new. I'm so glad to meet you. I've been reading all the comments. So check your comments, guys. I always try to hit you back. And see you on the next one.